Right guys, I am a happy chappy today. Sorry about the echo in the room. It's basically empty, so it's going to be a bit echoey until I get my sound panels in. But desktop has arrived, 2 sections pre-cut. Ordered this from plydirect.co.uk. Absolutely fantastic service, so highly recommend if you're based in the UK, down south. I think they do deliver quite a wide area, but the delivery charges vary. But they're based in London, so if you're there, it's pretty cheap. But yeah, great service. Anyway, walls are painted, and I've kind of cleared the area, ready to get the flooring done. So this video is all about fitting the laminate flooring. I've started prepping the area. I've got a few areas that need to come up, so I've just got a crowbar just to make sure the floor is nice and flat. Just give it a final sweep, and then we can put our floor covering, our insulation, thermal insulation underlay down, and then we can put our flooring on top. So what I've done is I've calculated how I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to start from the back and I'm going to lay them lengthways. The reason why I'm laying them lengthways is because this is the longest part of the room. I don't want to lay them that way because it's shorter. It means I have to do more cuts, and I don't think it will look right. Some people say lay it from the motion of the door, which would be this way essentially, but then you've also got the window. So in this instance, I'm laying them lengthways because I'll get much more material, less cuts, and I think it will just suit the room better. Now, some people start from the front, some people start from the back. I am starting from the back, and I'm going to work my way forward to the front. Now, what I've done is I've measured the width of each slab, which is 20 centimeters. The room is 273 centimeters to the door threshold. So that means I've got 13 clear rows and then a final row, which means I have to cut the final board just under half. So I need to cut a board from 20 down to 13 to make it fit into the last, which I think is going to look perfectly suitable. So it means I can start the first board without having to do any cuts. So I can kind of get all the way and just do my cuts as I get to the end of each board. So what I'm going to do is finish scraping the floor, making sure that it's nice and smooth, getting rid of all these little bumps because they will show up in the floor if it's not flat. So get rid of those, then I can lay my first row of underlay down. I'm not going to do all of the underlay, I'm just going to do the underlay as and when it's needed onto the next row. So I should get 3 rows before I need to do another row. Saves the underlay from getting damaged and just helps support it as you're going along a bit better, I think. So yeah, I'll tidy this up and then start getting it laid. Right, so that's the first bit of underlay down. So I can start laying my board. So we're going to open 2 packs and take a panel out of each pack, and then what that essentially does is prevents the mismatch in colour, just in case they're not exactly identical. Then at least it's evenly spread out. So we'll do 2 packs at a time, and then we're going to start in that corner, work our way over until we start getting our floor down. We want to put the under click to the back, so when we put our next board in, it goes up and then clicks in at an angle, working our way, because you won't be able to do it from the other one. From this side, has to be done from this side. So corner cut, so I'm going to need a circular saw for this. But essentially what I've done is I've just lined it up there so I can get my mark in as to where the corner needs to be. So now that that's there, I can just mark on the board here, move the board to here where it's going to fall in line, and then just mark it again. Then I can get my spirit level, and this will then let me know where I need to cut. Right guys, it is very important that you make sure there's no debris or any bits of breakages in the grooves, because if it is, these really won't lock in. I actually got all the way to the end and then realised that this piece here had started to bow out, and I couldn't understand why, but now I've looked and realised that this section here was broken off and it was deep in the groove, so I've just had to remove that now. And hopefully now they'll all slot in place. These clamps on these boards, so I literally had enough boards to do the whole floor. That is the only bit I've got left over, and it's an off cut and it's not long enough. And the reason why is I miscalculated my cut and I took a centimetre too much off. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, it's going to go under the skirting anyway, which it will, but I had a concern that it might be visible still. So what I did is I ripped down the remaining bit of that cut and I just glued it back on. But it's in the corner, so you shouldn't see it at all. But I just didn't want to take that chance, so I'll put it back on there, and let's see how our final finish is. Hopefully it sticks on okay. So as you can see now, the gap should be smaller. So initially the gap was 2 centimeters. Now it's only about 1 centimeter. So the skirting going on is about 18 mil. So you kind of would have seen it, but at least now it's less visible and it'll be protected anyway. So it's not going to be getting beaten, battered about. So yeah, now we'll lay the final piece, and that is the floor done, ready for the skirting. So, and there we go. Once again, apologies about the lighting, but we're that time of year now. So that is the floor fully laid. I've got one small cut left to do, and that's just in the cupboard there. So just got to rip that piece down and get that filled in. Finished, but the floor is all done, all clicked together, looking good. I'm really happy with it. Nice colour. So yeah, on to the next job and getting these light brackets finished.